This weekend, you can take a step back in time at the York Expo Center for the 717 Vintage Fest. The two-day event kicks off on Saturday, and here to tell us more about it is the organizer, Jessica. So good morning, and thanks so much for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, so you guys held an event like this back in the spring, so this is the second Vintage Fest for this year. For someone who's never been before, maybe never even heard about it, what can they expect over the two-day event?
Yeah, so 717 Vintage Fest is a weekend-long vintage vendor festival. Saturday 11 to 6, Sunday 10 to 4. We have over 60 vintage vendors on both days from 5 surrounding states with clothing, shoes, jewelry, accessories, home decor, furniture, everything, plus food trucks, tattoo artists, tarot card reader, a bar serving local brews, a DJ. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
So what makes something vintage these days? Because I gotta tell you, the older I get, the more I feel like the clothes I'm still wearing are vintage, even though I never put them away. I'm still wearing them. So what is making something vintage?
So the technical rule is anything 20 years or older. Right now, that's actually 2004.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which when I started selling vintage, all the vintage was older than me, and now it's stuff I wore in middle school. So everything always comes back in style, and that's the glory, but it's kind of crazy too.
It is crazy. I know what's things that are making a comeback are like the Abercrombie hooded jackets that I wore in high school. Like those, you'll probably find those there this weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, we have vendors that specialize in things from like 20s, 40s, 50s, and then all the way up to specializing in things from Y2K. So like even old Forever 21 is coming back in style, which is insane.
I gotta tell you, I kept my UGG boots for almost 20 years, so they had holes in them. That's a different kind of vintage. Vintage eventually.
That's in style too.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
You get a little wet when you walk in those. But
fair.
All right, so you were also the owner of Revolt Style in York. So it's a vintage store. How do you kind of get your following and find your groove with these vintage styles and these shoppers?
Yeah, we've had the store downtown. We just celebrated our 8th anniversary in June, and through doing pop-up events and just collaborating with other vintage businesses, I've really grown a community of wonderful vintage businesses in the region. And so that's kind of where 717 Vintage Fest came from, just a way for all of us to get together, show off our best stuff, and then have our customers be able to shop all of us in one place.
And where do you find most of your stuff?
Everywhere. I love shopping. It's how I got into selling vintage. So thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales. We do private buy appointments in the store, estate cleanouts. I love to thrift when I'm on vacation, like everywhere.
That's cool. So a little bit of everything. So tell us more about some of the other organizations that are involved.
Yeah, so we are the host at, my store is the host, Revolt Style Studio, and then this event is sponsored by Explore York, and then we also have a sustainability partner, which is Refillism, an eco-refill store in downtown York.
All right, so obviously I'm assuming you're rocking some vintage right now, but what are some of your favorite vintage items right now?
Okay, well, I love vintage for the sustainability factor, so that's most of my clothes, but also for the nostalgia factor. So like this jacket in particular, I'm excited it's fall because I can wear it again. This was my dad's old hunting jacket when he was a kid. I don't know how or why he still had it, but I'm obsessed with it.
Again, there are so many things that, you keep for so long for whatever reason, but to find it in the back of your closet, to be able to pass it down. I know my mom, I wore her veil at my wedding, and that was something that was really, really special. So that is really cool. Okay, so early access tickets, you guys still have available. So how can you get those?
Yeah, so on Saturday, we'll open up 1 hour earlier for everyone who purchases an early access ticket. It's an intimate experience. You won't have to wait in a line. You won't have to rush around to get the best stuff. You can go online to our website, 717vintagefest.com/tickets to get yours.
All right, and you want to spend the time, you want to go through the racks, you want to find the perfect piece. So make sure you are prepared for the two-day event. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
I know a lot of people are excited about this. Again, 717 Vintage Fest is this Saturday and Sunday at the York Expo Center. We have more information, including the hours for each day, on fox43.com.